this one. I'm gonna show the charts on here too through the glasses, but you'll be able to see it probably a little bit better on there. But yeah, it's been a crazy time in the market, man. Crazy time in the market. All right, y'all make sure y'all share this with at least one person that need to see it, man. We're gonna be talking about some potential plays, some stocks that I'm looking at buying into long term. We're gonna be looking at all of that. All right, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them as well. Make sure you drop the questions. All right. So I got to start back. Pretty much got to start back over because I started the live, but it ended up messing up somehow. So I was talking about, what's going on in the market. We know with the tariffs with Trump and all of that, man. It's aggravating from a trading standpoint, but from an investing standpoint, I mean, this is what you've been asking for. You got a lot of stocks that are getting back down to levels that they haven't been to since 2023. So I mean, a lot of people will say, you know, oh, I wish I would have did this a few years ago. I wish I would have did that a few years ago. Well, the time is now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the market can't go lower, but what I am saying is, don't keep waiting. The longer you keep waiting, you'll eventually, you'll miss out on something. I wish I could pull up this graphic that I have in my phone. I have to find it and post it for y'all. The market literally goes up about 94 to 96% of the time, right? And it goes down about 4 to 5% of the time, right? Somewhere around there. So you have to realize that when the market comes down, it's not for that long. All right. So if you go look historically, the market usually isn't down for too long, right? So you did have a few times where it was down for longer. I think what was it, World War I or World War II? The market was down for a bit, but I mean that's a crazy event, All the crashes, the market wasn't down for a super long time. The difference now with the market downturns now is that SPY is a lot higher, right? So why does that matter? So back in 2020, right, 2019, 2020, SPY was like 200 something, 300 something. Let me go back so I can give you the exact numbers here. So that's when I started. I can only talk to y'all from 2019 because that's when I started. All right. So back in 2019, SPY was at like 218, right? 217. When I first started, it wasn't even that high, right? It was in the 100 still, right? So you got to realize SPY is 3 times higher than what it was 5 years ago. Why is that significant? That's significant because you guys realize a 20-point drop on SPY 5 years ago was a 10% correction. SPY is $600 now, right? Well, not now, but SPY was $600. So a 10% drop on SPY now takes over $60. Right? So for us to even get to 20%, that would be over $100 drop on SPY. Right? And the percentage would just keep, the dollar amount would keep getting larger, right? The percentage would stay the same. If SPY was to go to 800, right, which I believe it very well might, a 10% drop on SPY would then be $80, right? So you got to put it into perspective. All right, SPY is so much higher than what it was 5 years ago, and there's no telling what it's going to be 5 years from now. All right, now did see a few questions there. Said, are you selling anything in your long-term portfolio, or just buying more? I'm not selling nothing. I ain't selling nothing. I don't see. I feel like you don't really have to sell anything. I feel like you don't have to sell anything as long as you buying good companies, right? I feel like you don't have to ever sell good companies, just simply because you want to learn how to trade, right? When you can learn how to trade, you can make money off the downside, and you can make more money off a downside than upside. To be honest with you, you really make more money when the market is falling. So it's not really a point in selling the good companies at all, because you can mitigate losses with puts, right? But you have to know what you're doing with them. So now I'm not selling anything. I'm just looking to buy more, right? So I am looking at companies like AMD or the AMDL, of course, NVIDIA, AVGO. I'm hoping Meta gets to 500 and below. I don't have any Meta shares, but I'm gonna definitely have some if Meta gets to 500 and below. I've been wanting some Meta, man. I can't believe I missed out on that in 2020. That's crazy. Looking at Google, Amazon. I'm looking at quite a few things now. I'll give you guys a little nugget. It's something that they don't tell you, right? So now, almost all the major stocks has a leveraged ETF, right? Now, what I will say is the leveraged ETFs are cheaper. For instance, NVIDIA costs like what, 102, 103? The leveraged ETF for NVIDIA is NVDL, and that costs $32. Here's the thing. They're leveraged, right? So that means that they're going to make or lose double, or some of them are even triple of what the actual stock does. So if Nvidia goes down 10% in a day, that stock will be down 20%. Or if Nvidia goes up 10%, that stock is going to be up 20%. Right? It's 2 times leverage. So here's my thing with the leveraged ETFs. I only think you should buy them when the stock is down a lot. Like, I mean, like 30, 40, 50%. I don't think that it's good to buy the leveraged ETFs when things are down like 10%, 15, even 20%. I wouldn't do it. You know, so some stocks I wouldn't do the leveraged ETF on them yet because they're not down enough. Right? Something like AMD, I do have some AMDL because AMD is down over 50% from the highs, right? It's probably close to 60 right now. So something like that, I do have the leverage stock, but for me to look at the NVDL, it's probably gonna have to, Nvidia definitely probably gonna have to get under 100 for sure. But even something like that, I mean, I'd rather probably just hold the Nvidia shares themselves, right? So let's take a look at some charts, man. Let's talk about some charts, because you guys already know market's been crazy. We got a lot of downside. We know that, all right? And once again, I'm live on both Instagram and YouTube. All I ask you guys to do is like this and leave a comment or share this with somebody. That's all I ask for the trouble, all right? Let's make sure I didn't miss any questions here. AMD at support, yep. I hope it breaks the support. I'll buy some more. It breaks support, I'll buy some more. So the player of the week was Meta. Crazy part about Meta, bro. I couldn't even get Meta, right? I was looking at Meta yesterday. Yesterday, like midday, around like 12, 1 o'clock. And I was telling my group, I was like, hey, you know, if you want to get Meta, this might be the time. But the market pumped at the end of the day. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold off. And the market shot up at 415. And then it sold off, right? So I didn't even get a chance to get in Meta. And it gapped down so much at this point, I was like, all right, I'm going to leave it alone. You know, so I wasn't even able to get my player of the week. But if you want to know what Meta looks like, when I first started talking about Meta, it was at, like at 580, 570 something. Meta is like 530 right now, right? So a crazy drop on Meta. Head and shoulders pattern, right? A lot of this stuff is charts, man. Like, I promise you, learn to read the charts. A lot of this stuff is going to tell you what's going to happen, regardless of the news, all that. I promise you, once you start looking at charts, it's like the charts and the news start synchronizing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, learn the charts, man. Me personally, I hate news. I don't like to do news. I like straight charts, to be honest. So, Meta was pretty good, and Meta still has a lot of downside. Meta can get down to 500. I'm showing my chart here on YouTube, you guys see this support down here at 498 for Meta. So Meta still has room to $500. Now at that point, you probably will get a very nice bounce, but Meta has nothing but downside. Now as far as SPY, here's a play. All right, so here's a play. What you guys got to realize is when stocks break major levels, they're going to come back and retest them. Okay, so a major level for SPY was 540. Here's a free play for tomorrow, and you can see this really good if you're on the YouTube. Then you can see it really good. For SPY, a play that you can watch for tomorrow is a retest of the 540 area, right? So I got it up here. It ain't perfect, but you can see this area right here for SPY was a previous support, right? It was a previous support, and we just blasted through it today. So look for SPY to possibly come back in there and retest. Now, if it can't hold 540, if it gets there tomorrow, you can look to take puts and take it back down to the lows. You know what I'm saying? So that is a potential play, and this is really what it will look like. This is called a break and retest, okay? This is called a break and retest. So this is what it will look like. We have the break. You got the breakdown here of the key level. You see it's playing around. Now tomorrow, look for a spot to possibly come back up around 540 and look to take it back down to the lows. All right? Now, here's a lesson on this though. You can't get in just because it hits 540. You have to say, okay, well, what is it doing at 540? Right? That's important. What kind of things do you want to see at 540? So you want to see bearish hammers, bearish engulfings. You want to see bearish signals there. You can't never buy anything just because it hits a number. You know what I mean? Never buy anything just because it hits a number. That's a losing strategy. I used to do that. That's what I'm telling you. I lost enough money in the stock market to tell y'all what to do and what not to do. I promise you. All right, so that's one play that I'm watching for tomorrow is SPY on a retest of 540. Now, if the market gaps down again and we just continue down, we got to find where the next level's at, right? We got to find where the next levels are at. Really, for SPY, I feel like we might just see a bounce, to be honest, but we really close right near a level right here at 536.5. So you got it right here, right here. Let me turn it for y'all. Let me turn it. Y'all can see it a little bit. You still can't see it that good, but 536.5, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, right? So 5 times we hit that. If we come down, looks like we can come down to around 531. So I mean, we still have a lot of room to fall, man. We can just keep falling. Don't expect the market to keep falling. Expect Trump to come in and save it. But we have room down to 531. Now, if that doesn't hold, could continue down. The overall target I think that you could look for SPY, if you're just super bearish, the max bearish pain that I would be looking at on SPY, let's see, it's on the weekly chart here. I already got this mapped out for y'all. It's right here. Boom. Right there at 578, 580. Alright, so that was the previous all-time high that we came down from before we had this run that we're on now. So that would be this is the ultimate spot that I would be like, yeah, it's time to throw in the kitchen sink. But even that, we are still, what, $60, $70 away from that? So, we still a long way from that point. But 480 for SPY is like that's the retest on the weekly time frame. So if we get down to that point, you know, it would take some time, but that's where you really want to look at a lot of things. Something else to note is that SPY really isn't down a whole lot percentage wise, right? So I kind of talked about that earlier. As SPY gets higher and higher, it takes more for SPY to drop percentage wise. All right. Let's look at some more plays here. Let's see what we got. Palantir is actually holding up. QQQ closed right at that 450 key level. If that does not hold, it better hold. It better hold. That's all I gotta say. 450. Watch out. 450 tomorrow on QQQ. That's the level for QQQ. Nvidia needs to hold. Man, you just got a lot of stuff that can just start falling, man. I'm not gonna lie. Everything kind of closed at a key level. Nvidia, if it gets below 100, that's gonna be interesting. Under 100 for Nvidia is amazing. That's why I really started to kind of buy a lot more shares of Nvidia under 100. Apple's retest would be 198, so around 100. Let's see, Tesla's holding up pretty well. Amazon's been getting killed. Google is getting into a nice buy zone, right? So Google around this 148 to 150 area looks like a nice buy. You can see here from 2021 that was resistance, and this time right here was resistance. Then it turned into support. So getting into this box that it's in now is a good place to add or to buy shares if you don't have any. Google also has a 2 times leverage ETF if you're interested in that. All right, so we already talked about Meta. Now Microsoft's level that it has to hold is right here as well at 366, right? So 365, 366. You can see right here. This was a support here, a resistance here. So that means that this is a key level. We haven't been back here since, what is that, March of 2024? February 2024? So we're at levels that we haven't been to in a year. But if that does not hold, we can start trickling down. Looks like we can start trickling down to the 450s, or 350s, 340s. So that's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. DAL has just continued to get killed. Y'all let me know, man. Did y'all make money on DAL? Please tell me y'all made some money on DAL. I gave you that one on a platter. That's probably the easiest play all year. DAL. Let me know if y'all made some money on DAL, man. If you guys have questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. Make sure I be looking at this here. What's going on? What's going on? Say, do I think the Fed will now cut rates? I don't know. Man, I don't like news, man. I don't do news. I do charts, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. All the other stuff, I don't be too interested in it. Can you do options on those? You can, but I wouldn't. AVGO, yeah, I like AVGO. Amazon and SOXL, yeah, I like those. ANET, well, I'll take a look at it. Price has memory. Yep, sure do. Sure does. Google in a demand zone. Yep. Microsoft, is it a good time for shares? Let's see. Let's see what percentage Microsoft is down. Oh yeah, before we move, DAL is it's just getting slaughtered, man. It's just getting slaughtered. Microsoft, how far is it down from the highs? Let's see. At the low, it's about 20%. So I mean, it's pretty decent from the highs. Microsoft is still top 3 best companies in the world. You know, they kind of been sideways for a long time, but they're still a powerhouse in the world. So MU is one that I definitely missed today. So MU has been in this huge box for a long time, and I'm mad that I missed this. I wasn't even paying attention. This would have been a super easy play. What y'all gotta realize about ranges is when ranges pop, you get crazy moves like this, right? So this range, MU has just been building up pressure the whole time. And when they finally broke, it was over with. It was over with. Let's see some of the ones that y'all said. ANET, I seen that's one that y'all put up there. They getting killed too. Kava's one that I've been looking at. Kava is good down here at 70. I love to catch Kava at 70. CMG is another one that I kind of want too. I want CMG down here at 47. So it ain't that far away, $3. What's been going on with Nike though? Some stocks have been getting just killed. Like Nike is $55. The all-time high for Nike is 178 or 179. Nike has been getting destroyed, man. At this point, Nike, the next support for Nike is here, right around there, which is 49. No, it's a little higher than that. A little higher than that. 50.5. 50.5, right? So that is a level from 2017. So, man, Nike has been getting killed. It's been getting killed. It's gonna be a nice upside play though whenever they get some divergence and some selling slows down. That's gonna be a nice play back to the upside. But yeah, I think the play I'm gonna be watching the most is definitely gonna be SPY. I want to see SPY retest 540 tomorrow. I'd love to see that retest of 540, or if it doesn't, you can take SPY under the lows and continue to try to ride it down. You know you got room to 531. So you got room to 531. Y'all drop some charts or some tickers. Drop some tickers. You say I said that Orange Man's gonna save the market. How so? He gonna right. Let me tell y'all this. This is what I think Trump doing. Right. Trump is the type of person where he likes to be the main character. Right. He wants it to be about something that he did. So this is what's gonna happen. This is my prediction. This is me talking. Right. What I think is gonna happen. He's doing all of this stuff. You know, with the tariffs and all of this, he's gonna say, "Oh, we had to do this because the last administration messed it up, whatever." And when he brings it back up and he sends it through the roof and to highs and to no telling what he's gonna send it to, when he does that, he's gonna say, "You see, I had to do this in order to set us up to get here." That's what I feel like is gonna happen, because you see, the things he says can move the market. You see, he said he did the tariff thing and he just tanked the market 4%. Imagine what the market gonna do when he take the tariffs off. It's gonna do the same thing in the other direction. Like Trump, y'all don't understand, bro. Trump is running this just like a business. Like he's running the country like a business. Like it is a business, but he's running just like a business. He wants to be the main character, and at the end of his presidency, he wants to say, "I had to do this in order to get us here." I promise you. Stamp this right now. Trump is gonna send SPY to 700 or 800 plus. Stamp it right now as of 4/3/25. By the time Trump leaves, SPY will hit 700 or 800. I'll put my money on that. When is the bleeding gonna stop? I don't know. But when it goes the other direction, everybody gonna say, "Oh man, I wish I." That's what I'm trying to stop y'all from doing. I'm trying to stop y'all from saying, "I wish I this, I wish I that." There's nothing in the market that's like you just like oh man, I'll put the house on it. But there are a lot of stocks that are down to points where you can't ignore them anymore. You can't ignore Nvidia at $100. That's crazy. Y'all wanted it at 150. Think about this. I keep bringing this up. And I'm gonna keep saying this. When Trump had his first that first big talk about the AI and the Bitcoin reserve and all of that, he talked about the AI infrastructure deal, the $500 billion, all of that. You guys realize that by that time it was too late. By that time it was too late to buy in, right? Because they had already pumped it up. This game with the stock market that I've learned from my 6 years of doing this is, you know, the destination. You know what's going to happen, but you don't know how it's going to get there. You know that Trump had that meeting where he said, "Hey, we want to be the biggest, AI people in the world. We want to have the $500 billion deal." You know that. You knew that since January. But you don't. You know that these stocks are going to go higher, but you don't know how they're gonna get there. You didn't know that Nvidia was gonna go from 150 back down to 100. You didn't know that AMD was gonna come down to 95. You didn't know that Oracle was gonna drop $60. But you know what they want to happen in the future. What you gotta realize is for the market to keep going, it has to come down. When you guys see these people selling, like they be like, oh, this CEO sold millions of shares, or something like that. You got to realize that they buying at times like this. Of course, they're gonna sell at all-time highs. They've been holding since it was down 20-30%. If I got an Nvidia at $40, why would I not sell it at $150? That's crazy. Why would I hold it forever? I mean, it's a repeated cycle, bro. It's a repeated cycle. I'm trying to tell y'all how it works. And I'm telling y'all this because, hey, I'm telling y'all, I think as much as I love trading options, I see the power of the long term even more now as I'm kind of maturing in my journey in the stock market. Because I look back at some stuff and I'm like, dang, I've been sitting here trying to trade Nvidia for the past 4 or 5 years. If I would have just put 10 racks in Nvidia, I wouldn't have to trade nothing. Like you kind of just start looking at stuff like that. Like you gotta, the long term is that's what's meant to really build the wealth, right? The trading is great, and what you really want to use the trading for, use the trading to build your long term. Even if you some people have a play, you might have a play where you be like, oh man, I only made $100, I only made $200. Fool, you can buy 2 shares of Nvidia with $200. Some of y'all make $1,000 a play, $1,500 a play. But that's 10 shares of Nvidia. Like, come on, you gotta really think about this stuff. Like, as options traders, and I done got all off topic, bro, but as options traders, we are spoiled. We are spoiled. We're like spoiled brats. Think about how easy it is to make 5 or 10% in an options play. Now, take that same amount that you put into the options play and go take it to the bank and put it in a traditional savings account and tell them you want 5% or 10% back in 3 minutes. Watch what they do to you. They'll close your account at the bank. You alright? Hey, I'm telling you, y'all gotta put this stuff in perspective, man. Think about how many times y'all been up 10, 15%. And y'all be like, oh man, I ain't hardly up nothing. Go ask for that 10 to 15% at the bank. Go ask for that same percentage at the bank. They'll close your account before you walk out the door. I promise you. We spoiled, bro. We are spoiled. I'm telling you. And one thing that I hate too, man, don't never feel like your trading ain't like it ain't enough. Don't feel like it's not enough, because you got to realize that this is percentage based. The only thing that's changing is the amount of money that you're putting in. Just because you got more money, that don't mean you're a good trader. I know people that done went from $50K to $5K. And I know people that done went from $300 to $3,000. More money ain't gonna solve your problem. I guarantee you, more money gonna make your problem worse if you don't know what you're doing. You gotta learn what you're doing. You gotta learn the skill. Once you can make money, if you can't turn 500 to 1,000, you're not gonna be able to turn 10,000 to 20,000. I guarantee you. And everybody has their limits too. Like, for me personally, I like to keep this is what I always keep my trading account. Like, for my active trading account that I trade options with every day, I keep 4 to 7. And I tell all my people that's in my mentorship, I tell them the same thing. I keep 4 to 7,000 in my account at once, because I do something that I like to call, um, dang, what I name it? The initial investment method, right? So whatever I put in there at the beginning of the month or whatever, I like to keep resetting that down, right? I keep resetting. Like, let's say if I start with 5K or whatever, if I start with 4K, and whatever I have at the end of the month or the end of the week, I just take that out and I bring it back down, or I invest into the stocks and I bring it back down to that same amount. Because you'll learn a lot about yourself when you trade. I learned from trading for 6 years that when I start having too much in my account, I do stuff. I do stupid stuff when I have too much in my account. Like back in 2021, when everybody was hitting, man, I would keep 10 rats in my account. And it'll come down quick. Cause I was like, man, that ain't nothing to lose 400. That ain't nothing to lose 500. I still got 8 rats. Nah, man, it don't work like that. I done matured, man. I'm telling y'all. My best play ever is Tesla. Tesla in 2021. I was still in college. Tesla in 2021, man, I had made, at one point, I was up 16,000 on Tesla. When I ended up selling it, I had made 12,000 on it. Y'all know I lost almost all that 12,000 because I didn't know what I was doing as far as risk management. I'm telling y'all, bro, I got some stories with this stock stuff. I got all kind of stories, man. I got all stories with Trump and, bro. Back in this was like 2020, 2021, Shopify, if you've been trading for a long time, you know Shopify, boy, people used to make bank off Shopify. Back in 2020, Shopify had like a split, right? So they used to be like $600, $700. Man, I got into a Shopify call. This is when Trump was like peak. Trump was a villain. Boy, Trump, I went to the bathroom, I was up 20%. I came out the bathroom, boy, I'm down 30%. Trump made a tweet, but made the whole market tank, man. Like, it's so much stuff, bro. The worst experience, my worst trading experience ever was in February of 2020, right? So there was a Monday. It was a Monday. I can show y'all on the chart. I can show y'all exactly what day it is. This is the day that hunted me the most in the stock market. And from this day, I was like, man, I can't never stop because they took too much money from me this day. Let me show y'all exactly what day it was. I know exactly what day it was. I was finna stop trading this day. I almost gave up, boy. It was right here. If you can see my chart on the YouTube, I'll tell y'all what day it is if you can't see it on YouTube. It was a Monday. Boom. This day almost ended RJ's trades. You almost never heard of RJ's trades because of this day right here. So let me tell y'all what happened. So this the thing, like one thing you'll realize too, when you start really being in the stock market and start trading, you know so much about the world that like the average person don't know. Like COVID didn't really hit the stock market for real until February 2020. Cause that's when it hit the mainstream of like news in January and February 2020. People that's trading knew about COVID since like mid 2019. Just like October or November 2019. Like I started hearing about COVID when I first got into the market. But it didn't hit the stock market for real until the beginning of that next year. So what happened was in February 2020, these 2 days right here, I think these might have been the first couple days that there was like, it was the first few cases of COVID. I think it was in like New York and California, I want to say. It might have been Seattle. But either way, these first couple days was like the first few cases of COVID that they started catching. All right. So the market, what usually had been happening was when you have these two, and you can see it on the chart. When you have these down days, you buy because they send it right back up. You see it right here. Every time it dip, you send it right back. Now, this day right here, these 2 days, everybody was buying the dip. They said, oh man, they finna send it back up. This a Friday. So boom, let me tell y'all what happened. I bought the dip on this day. Crazy, man. We came in that Monday. It was like Sunday at 6 p.m. That's when you can start seeing the little pre-market data on Sunday. Market was down crazy. I said, "Oh my god!" I was like, 1,500 deep in calls, almost 2,000 deep in calls. And at that time, 2020, my job at the time, I was an RA, right? So I was literally making 160 to 180 every 2 weeks. So $1,500 to $2,000, boy, that's my refund check. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's all my bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's my fault. That's what I'm telling y'all. Risk management. I had everything called. I said, man, they gonna send this thing right back up. Boy. This day right here, these 2 days, you could not get into your Robinhood account. Like literally, as anybody that was trading in 2020 or before 2020 that had a Robinhood account, they can tell you that these 2 days right here, you could not get into your account at all. Like you couldn't even log in. You could not log into your account. So let me look at this. What SPY went from 333. RJ bought the dip at 333. RJ couldn't get back into his account until SPY was at 313. So what y'all think my calls were? They worth the same. They was worth the same thing they worth right now. 5 years later, zero. Boy, I was sick. Boy. Man, I was sick, bro. I was sick. I was so sick, man. That taught me about risk management right there. I had to build that money. I had to wait until I got another refund check, man. I had to wait till I get another refund check to refund my trading account, bro. Man, it's some wild times, bro. It's some wild times. Like all kind of stuff was happening, man. Like 2020 just wasn't a real year. Y'all gotta really look back at them videos of what everybody was doing in 2020. That just wasn't a real year. Like, and just look how the market was moving, dog. Like, bro, it's crazy. And the craziest part is that it rebounded 3 times faster. Like, this thing just rebounded and kept going. And this is why you gotta always buy the dip, bro. It won't always make sense. The market was going up all 2020, 2021, and into 2022. COVID was through the roof, right? It got to a point where COVID numbers and employment numbers every week, they used to come out on Thursday, right? COVID numbers and employment used to come out on Thursday. Employment getting worse and worse. COVID getting worse and worse. Market pumping. They still send it up. Bro, like, the market ain't gonna always make sense. Well, I learned you better buy the dip, because they gonna send it back up. It's just gonna be about is you gonna buy it or not. Because they gonna leave you. I promise you they gonna leave you. It say 0.01. Yeah, hey, I swear to God. 0.01. It wasn't even worth that. Say you never about COVID. Oh, you knew about COVID since November 2019, because I was a student in public health. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, he say, how did I bounce back? But I couldn't bounce back. I was making $106 every 2 weeks. I had to wait till my refund check came. Luckily, in college, you know, your refund come, like mid-February, early March. So, luckily, my refund was coming. That's how I bounced back. I wasn't gonna bounce back no other way. I wasn't making no money. So that money printer was gonna make it go up. Oh yeah. And they talking about cutting rates. Boy, if they turn that thing on again, it's over with. How did I not give up? Because they already took my money. I said, look, on the type, bro. On the type where, look, I got to get something out of it. I can't let you just take it from me. I said, if I'm finna give up, I got to wait till I get my money back from the stock market before I give up. That's how I didn't give up, boy, because I was already two bands in the hole, boy. Hey, nah. I couldn't give up then. I said, I got at least got to get my money back. And then this is another thing, too. The stock market, bro. Hey, exactly. I'm leaving with something. I got to leave with something. I need that. No cap. I need that. And this is the thing about the stock market too. A lot of people always ask me, like, bro, I swear I can talk to y'all all night, bro, about the stock market, these stories, bro. Like, I'm gonna start going live and tell y'all more stories, man. Y'all like this stuff, bro. People always ask me, they be like, oh, how long it take, man? How long it take? I say, shoot, however long it take, bro. It talks to man, like, you think it'll take longer than 6 months? How long it took you? It took me 2 years. That's how long it took me to really, like, consistently be profitable in trade. It took me 2 years. But that is because my risk management wasn't good. It took me 2 years to really understand how important risk management was. Like, I could read charts 6 months in. I could tell you what the chart was going to do in 2019 when I started. It just came natural. But to learn how important the risk management was, oh, that took 2 years. Like, I'd make a lot and then I'd lose it. Because I'm not managing risk right. You know what I'm saying? So I be telling people, how long it take. It took me 2 years to learn, but this is the thing. It took me 2 years of every single day, not taking no days off. I still don't take no days off. I look at charts every day. I try to give myself a break on Saturdays. I try to, but I still don't. I try to give myself a break from looking at charts on Saturdays. Like, y'all really don't realize how much work really goes into this stuff. Like, I might send y'all a chart and y'all don't realize I've been waiting on this thing to play out for 3 weeks. I just sent it to y'all today. Like, y'all can ask anybody that be in my chats. I might send out a play that'll be like, hey, look, this was gonna happen, but it might take a while. I might be waiting on the play for a month, but I bet you it's gonna hit. You gotta be patient on them setups, I swear to God. You gotta be patient. But the worst things is when you try out a play and then it leave you. Or you try out a play and it don't end up happening how you think it do. Cause sometimes these plays take forever to find, bro. You really gotta cause I don't have a scanner. I am the scanner. I am the scanner. I don't need no scanner. I look through my own stocks. Because I don't believe in. There are some stocks that you can be like, all right, look, I'm not gonna trade nothing but these. You can do that, right? So there are some people that trade only SPY. There are some people that trade only QQQ. But I believe it's better to trade only a few setups. Because what if a certain stock don't have a setup for a long time? Right? So something like Microsoft, look at Microsoft. Something like Microsoft, it really ain't been no setup like that for real since all up here. So really, like, for a whole year, it really ain't been no setups for real. You done caught a little run or a little dip, but it ain't been no setups. You know, so I'm the type where I'm like, I want to learn a few setups instead of just learning a few stocks. I feel like you limit yourself a lot. You know what I'm saying? But bro, I got so many stories, bro. Say, did I have a mentor? Yes. Yeah. So when I first started, this how I got into trading. So I always give him his flowers, bro, because first I got to give my uncle. I got to give my uncle his flowers first. He's the first black person that I ever seen talk about stocks. And he used to post it on, like, Facebook back in, like, 2014, 2015. Like, he would make hundreds, so he made, like, a couple thousand. He would post it on. I'm like, dang, man. But I knew I was too young to do it. So when I turned 18, I literally have a post on my page from February of 2018 or February 2019. I was like, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like, I got to post. I got to show it on my Instagram. Well, I was talking about I was learning stocks. It's 2018, 2019, early 2018, early 2019. Because of him. Now, I learned about options trading in, like, August. First heard about options trading, like, August 2019. So, Eugene, right? So, a dude named Eugene, I don't know how I saw him on Facebook. But I seen he went to the same college. I seen he was posting, like, some money. I'm like, dang, how you do that? Because how I got into it, I was trying to make the football team. And I ain't make the football team in college. So at that point, you know, you play football your whole life. You know, like, always was all region, always be all state. Then you kind of get to college, boy. That thing is different, boy. Everybody all region, everybody all stay in college. Like it's just different. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you play college sport, you know, like it's just different. It's just different in college. So I ain't made the team in college sport, so I was like, dang, I gotta find out something. I kind of had a chip on my shoulder. I was like, man, I gotta be better than them jokers. I gotta do something that's better than them boys. So I gotta learn something because I need some money. You in college, bro? You like 18, 19, you ain't got no money. So I gotta find some way to make money other than waiting to get a job until I graduate. So somehow I seen him posted, and just by luck, a few days later, I saw him in the gym, right, playing basketball. I was like, hey, man, well, I seen you post on Facebook. You know, I want to learn how to do a little trading thing. And he was like, oh, okay. You know, he kind of shrugged me off a little bit, you know, because a lot of folks don't be serious. And I got a whole nother story about that. But he was like, oh, okay, man, yeah, I'll show you. I hit him up on Facebook. He didn't really respond back. So, like a week later go by, I see him again. I said, hey, man, I'm trying to learn how to trade, man. What's up, bro? I'm like, I'm really on him at this point. He like, oh, you for real? I'm like, yeah, I'm for real. So from that point, he was like, hey, meet me in the library, and I'll show you what to do. So I met him in the library. I put like $250 in my account. Keep in mind now, I ain't had no money at the time, but $250, that probably was all I had for real. So I put that in my account. Our first trade was Roku. And I lost $60 in like 3 minutes. I went down to 190. Boom, quick. He said, hey, we lost that one. He like, you good? I said, yeah. I said, I lost $60 in 3 minutes. I said, boy, if I learn what I'm doing, I can make $60 in 3 minutes. And it was over with from that point. My first trade was losing $60 in 3 minutes. And I knew from that point, if I can lose 60 in 3 minutes, I can make 60 in 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like y'all might see my trades now and be like, dang, we make this or whatever. It wasn't always like that, bro. It wasn't always like that. And even now, I have days. I've had 3 days this year so far that I made 1,000 or more in a day. Right? And I'm so thankful for that. Like it used to be a lot more days like that back in 2020, 2021. I don't trade like that no more. Not to make that much no more because I focus on being consistent now, right? So, anybody that's in my chat, or if you see me post, I'll post 2 or 3 plays where I make 100, 200, and I be good. Like you gotta realize, like if you can consistently make 200, 300, if I can make $100 to $150 on a play and do that 3 times a day, but that's $300, $400 a day. I ain't got no kids, I ain't got no wife. I'm chilling. All my trading money go to traveling. Boy, y'all don't even know. All my trade money go to eating good, traveling, and reinvesting it into RJ's trades. That's where all my money go to. I don't got no kids. I don't got no wife. I be chilling. Y'all just don't know I'm finna go to Cancun and splurge for my birthday. Boy, y'all might see a side of me y'all ain't never seen when I be in Cancun this summer, boy. Hey, man. Y'all just better make sure y'all be on my lives when I be in Cancun. Hey, I like to have fun now. AJ got Amazon, Nvidia, Google, and Meta. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, y'all follow AJ. AJ the best photographer I know. No cap. Shout out to AJ, man. AJ made some boss moves today for real. Amazon, Nvidia, Google, and Meta. Yeah, you said. You say what was the most I made in a day? It was at Tesla play. At one point it was up 16,000. When I ended up closing it out, it was 12,000. Now, y'all gotta think about this too though. This was in 2021. I was in class. I was in computer science. I was in my software engineering class. The market opened. Tesla went crazy. I was in class. Y'all, I ain't do no work that day. But I was up 16 racks. What work I was finna do that day? I ain't do no work that day. I was in software engineering. We had a group project. I ain't help them boys with nothing. Man, what they was gonna tell me? Y'all crazy. I started back doing my work when I about lost it all, though. I did. It was some wild times back then, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. It was some wild times. But yeah, that's my biggest play today. Now I have had some days where I had made 3,000 before, 4,000 before. There was a play back when some of y'all might remember when Microsoft first started talking about TikTok. Microsoft first started talking about buying TikTok in like 2020, 2021, and they shot up like crazy one day. I had made like 3,000 or 4,000 in a super short amount of time because they just shot up off of news. Then it was a play on Nvidia that I did really, really well on. That Nvidia failed. This might have been like 2022. Made like 3,000 or 4,000 on that. Like I've had days where I had multiple thousands, dollar days. I had some bad days too though. But my favorite thing about me is I'ma always show folks the real. Like I trade right now, you know, I work in IT, right? So my off days right now are Tuesday and Wednesday. I trade live every Tuesday and Wednesday. So the people in my group, they see me win, they see me lose, they see all that. They see all that. I don't just win, I lose too. But I win a lot more than I lose. And my losses are never big, right? I never have big losses because I understand risk management. But yeah, that's some crazy times. That was some crazy times, bro. Just imagine being 20 years old. You just made 12,000, and you in class. Man, please. I could have told the teacher I wasn't gonna do nothing. That's how I was feeling. But yeah, I had some big days, man. I had some big days. I had some crazy days. Well, I see a charting question. Say, what do you look at when you review your charts? So when I review charts, the thing that I look for number one, where are the levels, right? So let me show y'all an example. I'll give y'all an example, then we'll get back to some stories. Y'all seem to like the stories, man. Y'all like the stories. Like for example, let's see, what's something that I can give you an example of? Microsoft, right? So Microsoft 365, it's kind of far away. But this is exactly how we analyze this. Like Microsoft, the level right here is 365, 366, right? So right here, I'm analyzing it right now. I'm like, okay, the overall market is what? Bullish or bearish? Right now, the overall market is bearish. So I'm like, all right, cool. If we start to get below 365, I know this can fall because this is the level. Where can it fall to after that? Right? So once you find the level, you got to find the next level down or the next level up to see where it can go. And looking at Microsoft, next level I would say is 350, right? Because you got here, 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 and here. Okay? So we know the market is bearish. We know the level is at 365, but right now we're at 373. So really all you can do is wait. As far as downside, I wouldn't touch it right now until it get under 366, 365. You know what I'm saying? But under 365, I know we come down $15 if the market keeps coming down. So now you got to ask yourself, from 365 to 350 is how much? $15, right? Is $15 enough for you to make money on Microsoft? I'll answer that for you. Yes, it is. Now, why is that important? Because every move is not created equal. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, if Microsoft had a level at 350 and then they had another level at like 365, and then they had another level at 363. That's $2. Is $2 enough for you to make money on there? It is. That is enough for you to make money, but at the same time, that's not a equal move as far as something like, let's say if something like Coca-Cola was to move up $3 or down $3. That's a lot, right? So it's relative. It's relative to the stock. You got to ask yourself, is that a lot for this stock? We try to put in my charge before it go dead on y'all. Y'all plug my charge in. I hope that kind of makes sense a little bit. Hope that makes sense a little bit on how to kind of analyze it. So I'm looking for the levels, looking for the patterns, and then you look how far it can fall. But first thing you gotta do is get your bias. Do you think it's gonna be bearish or bullish on the overall market? Because that's gonna tell you a lot. That tells you a lot. If you think the market is gonna be bearish, then you only want to look for bearish plays. If you think the market gonna be bullish, you want to look for bullish plays. That's the key. That's a great question though. Say, do I think it's possible to trade full time? I do. Yeah, that's very possible. Just because you can make so much money in a day. I would say you definitely need to have money saved up though. You definitely need to have money saved up, and you probably need to be, doing more than just trading. But you can definitely trade full time. I don't know if I would ever want to trade full time though, man. I like having fun with this stuff, bro. I feel like I might start trading full time, and what y'all ever heard the saying? Once I start having fun with it, I'll be done with it. I feel like I look at it more as like too much of a job at that point. Like I love doing this stuff. Like I love hopping on here. I love making content. I love waking up and looking at the charts every day. I don't want nothing to take away from me having fun from it. Like I just love what I do. I look forward to making content. I look forward to making videos and posting funny memes. Like I really got a lot of crazy stuff that I could post, but I try to keep it, I keep it PG on my page. But I got a lot of crazy stuff that I really could post. Say, how often do I do swings and leaps? Swings every time I sit up, right? So every time I see the bullish divergence or whatever, I'll do a swing as long as the market will kind of allow it. Now leaps, I think leaps are only good when the market is down a lot, right? So I wouldn't touch a leap right now. I probably wait until SPY is down at least like 15-20% to touch a leap, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. The last time leaps was really like super good was 2022, 2023. Say, is it best to hold or not? Yeah, like you got the best companies on the market. Yeah, it's best to hold. If the market go down lower, buy some more. You got Meta, Amazon, Nvidia. You got the best stocks in the world, the best companies in the world. You want to keep buying. If they go down lower, buy some more. Yep, you can hold those. Now, this is my plan. This is my plan. This is something else that I'm planning on doing, right? I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's gonna happen after Trump get out of office. I don't know. I feel like Trump gonna send it through the roof. But after he get out, I don't know what's gonna happen. Now, my plan is I plan on selling a lot of stuff before he gets out, though. I plan on selling a lot of stuff before he gets out. I just don't know. I don't know. That's my plan right now. Right now, I'm planning on making a big exit in 2027, 2028 out of a lot of stocks and repositioning myself. So I'm planning on holding for the next few years, though. So yeah, best to hold. For sure. For sure. But yeah, I got so many funny stories with this stock stuff, man. I gotta start going live more with y'all, bro. I got too many crazy stories. And something that y'all will realize, some of y'all might already realize it. You can really hardly ever put on people that you know. Like that's super close to you or that's like family, it's hard to put them on trading. it's super hard to put them on trading. I feel like trading in the stock market is something that you can't put nobody on with. They gotta want to do it. They gotta want to do it themselves. It never worked out for me. Like anybody that I came to, I'm like, hey, you need to, do your stocks or whatever. It didn't work out. Now I say the most rewarding thing for me though with the stocks is I got my parents into it. I did get my parents into it in 2020. My mama fell off. She fell off because she ain't like all that. But my dad still invests. He see the power of it now. My dad invests to this day. I put him on. But besides them two, it be hard, bro. Especially like just black people in general. Let's keep it a bean. Black people in general, before the time now, black people didn't know jack, what about stocks. If you was to go up to a black person in 2018, 2017, anytime before that, talk about you gonna put your money in the stock market, boy, you would look like you done did witchcraft. They'll think you done did witchcraft, boy. I remember when I first started telling my family that I was gonna get into the stocks, they said, well, you gonna lose all your money. That's risky. It is risky. But you can't hold it against them though, because they just don't know no better. They just didn't know no better because it wasn't taught. It wasn't taught to them. But yeah. But before this time, boy, you tell black folks you gonna invest, boy, you might well have said you was gonna do some voodoo on somebody. Man, everybody was saying, nah, bro, you don't want to do that. Put your money in the savings. Put your money in the savings account. Let it gain interest. Yeah, let me put my $100 in the savings account and let them give me 4 cents at the end of the year. Let me do that for the rest of my life. The biggest risk is not taking one. I would rather, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the type of person, bro, I would lose all my money betting on me than listen to what somebody else say. That's just how I am. Like, I'm the type, I don't need no extra motivation. You can't give me extra motivation to pop it on you. Like, you really can't. I'm already self-motivated. So when I feel like you playing in my face, or I feel like you think I can't do something, I'm going to do it twice. And then I ain't going to put you on. And by the time I do it, and you want to learn, I'm going to tax you. Just because you were talking trash. I don't know, bro. I ain't like that, man. I ain't like that. Crazy part, it really be mostly the people that you know, or that you close with, your family that don't think you do it. Probably because they couldn't do it. Say, what are my thoughts on what's currently happening though with the crash? That's a great question. AJ, this thing, AJ. The stock market always has to have a catalyst to come down. There has to always be a catalyst to get stocks cheaper, right? Because the game is to buy low, sell high. So you have people that's been holding their stock since 2020, right? On the last drop. So they started